those of AM 880, KIXI, its management, or other advertisers. This program is sponsored by TechTime Radio. Visit them online at techtimeradio.com.
Broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, Technology news of the week, the show for the everyday person talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. I'm Nathan Mumm, your host and technologist with over 30 years of technology expertise. Our co-host, Mike Day, is in studio, of course, and he is the award-winning author and our human behavior expert. Now, we're live streaming during our show on 4 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We encourage you to visit us online at techtimeradio.com and become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/TechTime Radio. We're friends from different backgrounds, but we bring the best technology show possible weekly for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. We're glad to have Odie, our producer, at the control panel today. Welcome, everyone. Let's start today's show.
Now on today's show.
All right, today on Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, buckle up as we dive into the latest technology news and stories. Here's what we have coming up on the show today. We're diving into a range of riveting topics. Discover the latest developments as MoneyGram deals with a major cyber attack. Explore the intriguing shift of the non-technical experts into the cybersecurity roles of business. Uncover whether Ford has launched a quest to find Bigfoot. Now, Gwen Way is going to join the show with something that's bound to be either hot or cold, depending on your mood. Get ready for Prime Big Deal Day, the fall edition, with our top recommendations from TechTime Radio. Lastly, find out what happens when a security company itself becomes the target of hackers. In addition to these stories, we have, of course, our standard features, including Mike's mesmerizing moment, our technology fail of the week, a possible Nathan Nugget, and, of course, our pick of the day, whiskey tasting, to see if our selected whiskey pick gets 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up by the end of the show. But now, it's time for the latest headlines in the world of technology.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right, story number 1, MoneyGram. Do you know that they are the world's second largest money transfer provider? It has been confirmed that hackers stole customer data in a cyber attack. Let's go to Corinne Westland for more on the story.
MoneyGram detected the attack on September 27th, causing it to shut down IT systems and preventing MoneyGram customers from accessing or transferring money to other users. MoneyGram now says that the threat actors had access to its network even earlier, between September 20th and 22nd of this year. During this time, the threat actors stole a varied amount of sensitive customer information, including transaction information, email addresses, postal addresses, names, phone numbers, utility bills, government IDs, and social security numbers. Boy, that is just about everything. Back to you in the studio.
All right, that's it. MoneyGram has confirmed that hackers stole the customer information. Really interesting is that how did MoneyGram respond to that? Well, they shut down their systems for 5 days. So if you were using MoneyGram to transfer any of your money during these 5 days, instead of being able to know what's going on, they shut down all of their services and said that MoneyGram wasn't able to process any money transactions at that time. So think of you're sending money to your aunt.
That's the same thing a bank would do. If,
Yeah,
that's what happened when there were runs on banks.
Yeah,
in the past.
It's interesting because not only is this like a bank, but this also is a bank with information. So MoneyGram does criminal background searches. So if they have large sums of money, that information was also stolen in this attack. So if you're a person that's transactions are more than 10,000 at a time, then they would have done a whole criminal background check on you at the same time. All this information was gone. Now, It's unknown who's behind the attack. There's no threat actors that have claimed responsibility, and there was no ransomware in this attack itself.
I'm guessing they just wanted money.
Well, you know what? I think so. This is what's kind of going on in the underground right now. Is there's a lot of hacker groups that have kind of come together, and they're now starting to do these hacks where they come on in, they get information, and instead of then having a ransomware attack associated with the attack itself, they just leave it open. They get found out that they're there. But what happens is governments, since there was no ransomware that was in there, governments and FBI agencies and CIA agencies and all of these world agencies don't jump on it immediately because it's not as important because no ransomware was attached to this. No actual criminal activity of shutting down the organization was there, but information was stolen. It becomes an interesting deal where the data collected may now be worth more money if they can create profiles with social security numbers, these individuals to sell it back at a later time with more breaches that could happen that do not provide a ransomware attack there. So I think that there's a big process going on right now in some of the hacker worlds where they're trying to collect data, not get in trouble for it, but create personal profiles that they will be able to sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars at a later time. What do you think about that, Mike? That's the next level.
I don't.
hacking?
I mean everything evolves based on how things. Consequence. An action breeds a consequence, which breeds a different action, which breeds a different consequence. So
if you don't have the ransomware there, though, nobody really jumps around and gets excited about it.
Well, not yet, but they, sooner or later, if this is a pattern of behavior, the law enforcement agencies will start paying more attention.
Yep.
And probably are likely to pay more attention quicker now that people are talking about it and being like, hey,
what's going on with this?
All
right. Well, Odie's got our most interesting story for our show today.
Ford creates a Bronco Sasquatch searcher for lucky winner to find Bigfoot.
Okay.
The Sasquatch has been a part of American folklore for centuries. To help find the legendary creature, Ford has prepared the one-of-a-kind Bronco Sasquatch Searcher SUV to help one lucky Bronco fan with everything they need to find the legendary Bigfoot.
Okay.
The Ford Bronco Sasquatch Searcher Sweepstakes starts today on the Ford Bronco Instagram account. Based on a two-door Bronco Badlands Sasquatch, the Bronco will send players on a Sasquatch-inspired quest to, quote, get back out there with the Ford Bronco as their guide. Ford will award the Bronco Sasquatch Searcher through a sweepstakes. Fans have to solve mystery clues across social media, Reddit, and out in the wild. Posters and street signs in prime Sasquatch tracking locations will have a phone number that fans can text for answers to clues that will guide them on their quest. The Bronco includes everything from Bronco Badlands Sasquatch, plus the following modifications. Tree camo exterior wrap to blend in with surroundings as you track, a roof-mounted light bar with hood-mounted light pods for tracking in the dark, and supplemental front and rear-facing cameras and screens to help spot Sasquatch. For those that don't win, Ford offers a Sasquatch package on all Bronco trims and on the 2025 Bronco Sport Outer Banks and Badlands. Customers can visit the Ford Bronco Instagram page to learn more and see pictures of this unique Bronco Sasquatch.
All right, so let's talk about this.
Is this a sweepstakes?
It's a sweepstakes.
Or is this a game that you play to further your chances of getting the thing?
Getting what thing?
So there's one that they're giving away.
Okay, so a sweepstakes, everybody can
Enter.
Yeah.
And one person wins.
Yep,
Right.
that's what it is.
But if it's a game where people have to go out and solve clues and that gets them closer to actually getting the thing, that's not a sweepstakes. They're not doing that, right? They're doing a sweepstakes.
Well,
They're doing
and then
both.
they're having this game on the side.
Well, they're calling it a sweepstakes.
Yeah.
That's what they're calling it. But you have to go to Instagram. You have to go to Reddit. So you have to use the internet to find out all this information about the Sasquatch competition.
How far along in this are you?
Well, hang on. So once you get the information from Instagram and Reddit, Then you go to these sites.
We
and
heard
you have
about
to-
this
and-
last
and-
night.
and you have
You
to-
were up all night doing this, weren't you?
No, not all night. But then
The
you can find
majority of the
information. Then you have to drive to locations. We're in the Pacific Northwest.
This
This
is
is
ideal
this is
Sasquatch
happening-
territory.
this is happening in Bend,
Okay.
Oregon.
Mhm.
This is where some of the information's happened, which
He's
is
up to
Sasquatch
date.
area. You got Bend, Oregon.
Mhm.
This is happening on Highway 9 all the way up
Man.
to the border of Canada.
Mhm.
So we are in the prime locations of this event. All you got to
Mhm.
do is get in your car, take the clues, go to this location, and then you're going to see some sign with a Sasquatch watching. It's a big yellow sign that looks like a Sasquatch yield sign with a number on there, and they text you, and you keep on going places and places and places.
Okay.
A scavenger
Have
hunt.
you
So
seen
it's
it?
like a scavenger
Yeah.
hunt
So,
with technology.
Yeah, is it a scavenger hunt or is it a sweepstakes? That's the question.
I don't know.
Isn't it
They
both,
called it a
though?
sweepstakes.
They called it a sweepstakes, but it's also a scavenger
Well,
hunt
there's
because-
there's laws
Oh.
determining what is what. If
Oh.
it's a sweepstakes, then nobody has to do anything in order to win.
Oh.
If it's a scavenger hunt, it can't be a sweepstakes.
Maybe they're just using the name sweepstake
So
as a part of what's going on.
just
All right.
curious what it is.
Are you ready to go, Mike?
I'm not gonna go look for Sasquatch.
Are you not going? Don't you? Do you think Sasquatch exists?
You know, I'm always willing to have that possibility.
Okay. You
But
watch Harry and the
I-
Hendersons?
I lean
love Harry and the
towards
Hendersons.
the scientific explanation for why we haven't found one.
Okay.
Which is, they don't exist. So
okay.
I'm not saying that I don't
Well-
have that open possibility where if one shows up on my doorstep and be like, "Yo, bro,"
You'll be
I'd be like, "Oh, awesome! I can't handle this because all my scientific knowledge says you shouldn't exist," and he'd be like, "That's why I'm here."
I think of it as the old fisherman's tales
Yeah.
that the mermaids exist when they're really just like manatees.
Yeah.
I think of it like just like that. Maybe it's just a bear that somebody just saw while eating some
You're
mistake
talking-
mushroom.
you're
like
talking-
the Loch Ness monster.
Yeah.
You're talking about how the brain looks for certain
Mhm.
patterns and makes assumptions about them.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm talking about too.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's why we have Area
Area
That's what-
51.
1 down
Mhm.
in
That's all
Vegas,
run
right?
by Sasquatches.
they're all there.
Yeah,
With all the
the
aliens?
Sasquatches live in Area 51. They run the place. It's a big bread and breakfast.
Bread and breakfast.
Bread.
What's
don't-
a
don't-
bread and breakfast?
Don't talk to me about how I pronounce stuff.
Wow. I want to stay at that bread and breakfast.
Bread and breakfast.
Wow.
All right. So are you gonna buy this vehicle? What is
No,
interesting
I'm
though
not
is
gonna
it does have a bunch of cameras,
Mhm.
so it's like a 360 recording device. When you
Right.
turn it off,
Which I think is ideal for the whole Sasquatch thing. Because
Yeah.
what is the number one issue? The number of
no one ever gets it on
Mhm.
picture.
I think it's a cool idea, but you won't be finding me driving around looking for.
Oh, of
Sasquatch
course
signs.
not.
This should also be used to go out and look for aliens. If you're like searching for
Don't
aliens,
get ahead of
like,
yourself,
like the
buddy. I
X
know-
Files. If they had this
I-
and all those,
I know
aliens
you're
always
going to
come
come
by
up
the
with your.
cars
I
and-
know you're going to come up with your next concept here that's going to backpack onto the Sasquatch vehicle, but just hold your horses.
Well, you know what's coming on up soon?
hold your Sasquatch.
Star Trek Day already
Amazon
came out.
Prime.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
right. Okay. All right. Story number 3. Well, this is up your alley here. What do you
yeah,
got
we're going to
on
be
here?
talking about why non-technical experts are starting careers in cybersecurity.
Okay.
So Dr. Layla Powell grappled for years with how galaxies form
Okay.
and what happens when they collide because she was an astrophysicist. But in 2015, she put those questions aside and moved into cybersecurity. She is now lead security data scientist at Panacea, a company that helps organizations to understand where they might have gaps in their cybersecurity controls. And she's one of many people who have brought their skills from other careers into cybersecurity. Cybersecurity includes a range of roles that all aim to protect organizations and their technology from cyber attacks, which we all know doesn't work out that real well.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Some people help to prevent incidents by analyzing or improving the security of applications, networks, and devices. Others help organizations to continue operating or to recover when they are attacked. According to ISC2, an organization of cybersecurity professionals, 39% of new employees in this sector came from a non-IT role. When she hires new team members now, Dr. Powell doesn't mind where people acquired their skills. She says, I would encourage people that don't think they have the right skills to actually have a look. If I hadn't seen that advert, it would never have crossed my mind that cybersecurity would be an industry I could get into. ISC2 estimates that 4 million more cybersecurity professionals are needed worldwide. Also, according to ISC2, 41% of companies are trying to recruit non-technical people into cybersecurity from other roles within the company. Rebecca Taylor is an example of someone who made that transition. She is a threat intelligence knowledge manager at SecureWorks. Company provides threat detection and response technology and publishes advice on threats. She joined it as a personal assistant. She now works alongside people who studied history, geography, and archaeology, and says her own humanities backgrounds helps her with her work today, processing information. And that's kind of what's going on.
Okay.
That's probably a good idea.
Well, I don't want to ruin my question that I'm going to ask you for Mike's mesmerizing moment. Do you think it's a good idea that we have less nerds and more real people in there?
Yes, because the way you put it, nerds, IT nerds,
Yeah.
They have some really good skills in technical work, right?
Yep.
But they may not have good skills in what human behavior is all about. And where do almost every single attacks happen? When do companies and things get
when they attack
compromise
the person?
They
use
use
credentials.
They use psychology in order to get in there. There's no dude sitting back in a van outside looking through your miles and miles of codes trying to find your quote unquote back door. Now they call you up and sell you a bill of goods and say, hey, can you do this? What about this? So
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think it's a great idea. We should have a lot of professionals that understand facets of human behavior to help with this problem.
All right. Okay. That's a good story. All right. Well, that ends our top technology stories of the week. Moving on. Gwen Way is up with our gadgets and gear segment with a product that will either be hot or cold. What is it? You're going to learn that on our next segment. You're listening to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. See you after the commercial break.
This is Mark
and Greg
for Copiers Northwest
with a terrific offer
called Printer Care Plus.
It's simple. Buy HP printer cartridges from Copiers Northwest and we'll service your current printers for free.
That sounds too good to be true.
It's made possible due to our HP Copiers Northwest relationship.
Copiers Northwest is an HP Platinum partner,
one of only 2 in the entire Northwest.
And now with Printer Care Plus,
Copiers Northwest will provide free printer service
as long as they purchase genuine HP cartridges from Copiers Northwest.
That's right. IT departments no longer have to service printers
or fix paper jams with Printer Care Plus.
They can focus on more strategic initiatives
and let our experienced technicians keep their HP printers up and running.
Sounds like a love-love relationship for IT departments.
Don't get too carried away. So how do they get more details on Printer Care Plus?
Call Copiers Northwest today, 206-282-1200, or visit copiersnw.com.
Copiers Northwest. New ideas, new solutions.
Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Our weekly show covers the top technology subjects without any political agenda. We verify the facts and we do it with a sense of humor in less than 16 minutes. And of course, with a little whiskey on the side. Today, Mark Gregoire, a whiskey connoisseur, is back in studio. So what are we tasting today?
Today, you're drinking Maker's Mark Wood Finishing Series, the Heart Release 2024. Now, from Maker's Mark website, the Heart Release celebrates the team that distills our whiskey, our people who sit at the heart of Makers, guiding and setting the tone for much of what we do. Fruit forward with caramel and maple and chocolate notes. This expression features a rich, creamy mouthfeel that is pure delight. Looks like you're getting a lot of pure delight over there, Nathan.
Wow. Okay. Tell me more. Yeah, pure delight. What else do they say about anything
human
else?
sacrifice is not part of this taste, right?
No, not at all.
Okay.
So this is from Beams and Torres from Maker's Mark Distillery, which is the Star Hill Farm in Loretto, Kentucky. Straight bourbon finished with virgin oak staves, non-age stated, 111.7 proof, 70% corn, 16% wheat, and 14% malted barley. So it's considered a wheater.
Okay.
And it's $57 with a cork and a wax top.
So I mean, it's in my price range that I would buy something, but this did not hit me very well. And then Mike's over there just like smiling like a Cheshire or a cat over there with just like a big old smile, like, yes. So
this is good stuff.
You like it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We'll see how it develops and opens up through the show.
Okay.
So don't forget to like and subscribe and drink responsibly. Heaven can wait.
There you go. All right. Well, with our first whiskey tasting completed, wow, that had a bite. Let's move to our feature segment. Today, we have Gwen Way joining the show. She's an expert in cybersecurity during the day and a game board geek in the evening, as well as a producer of TechTime Radio and our gadgets and gear gal. Let's get ready to start our Comcast video stream in our next segment.
What's new in our gadgets and gear?
All right. Welcome back to the show. Gwen, tell us a little bit about yourself for any new listeners that are joining the show.
Sure. I am Gwen. I've been working in technology for about a quarter of a century now, and have actually jumped into cybersecurity as a non-cybersecurity person myself. Okay. So that story was near and dear to my heart. Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome. So are you a non-cybersecurity person? Because you've been in technology for quite a long time, though, right?
I have at this point. I have. But when I was hired for my very first technology job, I was hired for my soft skills, my ability to talk to people and educate them and teach them, rather than my technical skills. Okay. The manager at that time, Jeff, told me that he could not train soft skills, but he could definitely train technical skills.
That's true. That is true. The soft skills are tough. Anybody can learn technology if they want to. I mean, to be a real geek, though, you have to, like, on Saturdays when you're sitting at home and you're watching TV, or Sundays watching TV. I mean, you're a geek, if you're a real true geek. You're like skimming through all the articles that are going on about new technology stuff.
Is that what you do?
I have my phone right here.
I do it all. I do it every morning.
I do that with brain science.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know I'm always in and seeing what's coming up or what's new, and there's so much good stuff out there that you don't even get through all of it. That's the one reason we created the show, was because I like doing so much research that I ended up putting the show together and say, let's talk about the show with the research itself. There you go. All right.
Makes sense.
Now let's get to what we have for the listeners today. What gadget do we have on docket here?
Well, this is actually something that might help you, Nathan, if you're not liking the whiskey. I know that if you cool it down a lot, you get less of the harsh flavors.
Okay.
So today's gadget is actually a cup that can both heat and cool beverages. It's on Kickstarter from a company called Cupeno, Kupeeno. And it's kind of similar to one of the gadgets that we've talked about, many years ago, the Ember Cup.
Okay.
For those who don't know, the Ember Cup is a coffee cup that has a little thing that you put it on, and it keeps it warm. So you have hot coffee throughout the day.
Now, as we did our production meeting show last night, I have many of these devices. I have one that cools. I have one that heats. I have one that you can
flies
cook
around
in.
the room and takes pictures. Oh, wait.
Right.
So what is unique about this device that would be able to replace my other devices that I already have 2 or 3 of each at my house?
The coolest thing about this device is that it both heats and cools. So if you wanted to, pour some of that whiskey in and cool it off so that it doesn't bite as much, you pour it in there, you program it to take down to, I think 46 degrees Fahrenheit is the lowest that it will go. But then it will cool the beverage. You can also put a can in and have it cool a can. So if you have, a can of Coke that you want to chase that whiskey with, you just put it in there, cool it off, and then you've got a nice, crisp, refreshing beverage.
So the demo that they do is they put a pop can in this, but they actually make it an extra 1.5 inches taller, which fits all beer cans. Just to let you know, as a consumer of this, not that you're going to want to take your beer can with you while you're driving or portably, but if you did,
you can't help but give out ideas.
Well, no. Well, they in their
if the people in the back seat,
in their advertising, they have the dimensions, and I was like, that was really kind of odd. Why would they put all those dimensions in? And then I look at it, and I'm like, wow, that is exactly the dimensions of all American beer cans. So
the tall boys.
You could take it to your.
How about that? You can't do a 44 though.
What's that?
No,
44. No. Just standard beer can.
It will also though fit the larger energy drinks like the Monsters and the Alani News and things like that.
That's how
So,
they kind of sold it as the beer can type of deal. So, so I could put in my
Is that
Monster
how they do
Energy.
it?
Yeah, my Monster Energy drink. That I go between that and Rockstars, whichever one I haven't
Is
had
cheaper?
the latest. Yeah, whichever's cheaper at Costco when I buy it. Okay. All right. So now it can heat up though. So what is the maximum temperature it can heat up to? Can it cook stuff? How long does it last? Let's get more into this
Yeah,
information.
can I use
on
it
the
for
hot
I mean,
sous vide?
I don't think you could actually sous vide in it, although I really like that as a concept.
Okay.
It can get your beverage up to 149 degrees Fahrenheit, which is
Pretty
not
hot.
quite boiling, but it's pretty warm.
That's pretty hot.
Hey, you know,
That's a solid hot.
I mean, that's a
shower
solid. That I
temperature.
mean, that's
you could chuck a couple of hot dogs in there and drive down the road. And,
I mean, if you leave them in long enough,
Actually, you know what? That's not a bad idea. You could have your beer and your hot dogs.
Beer and hot dog soup.
We're creating
have
the
everything you
secondary.
need.
Okay. All right. Now, is there any drawbacks to this unit?
It does need the base in order to either heat or cool.
Okay.
So you would have to actually put it on this base that is plugged into your car or your computer or your wall, wherever you want to plug it into.
Now, it does have both like a plug-in and a car adapter that comes with the unit. So you can have it in your vehicle and then have a different, which I actually kind of like. So then if I take it out of my car, I can take the charging base into my office so that I'd have it at it, and then I can plug it
And
in
still
and,
plug it in.
and have it plugged in. Now, there's a couple sales going on up, 42% off. Not that I know, but if I bought one last night, I probably would know. Tell us what the price is and where they can find this out.
So right now, like you say, there's a 42% deal. It is $69 for one unit or $109 for two. I definitely go for the two if you can. It's a better deal. You can even get all the way up to 4 if you think that you might have family members who want them as well for $200.
Okay. Now, how many Kickstarters backers does this have? How many days left can you subscribe to the project?
This actually has just over 500 backers right now.
Okay.
This is cutting it a little shorter than I like to. The sale ends on October 19th. So you only have about 10 days from the initial broadcast of this to go get it. But in order to do so, just go to Kickstarter and search for Capino. Again, strange spelling, so let me spell it again. K like kilo, U, P like papa, EENO.
All right. Now, do you have one of these?
I may have already purchased 2. Yes.
You purchased 2 of them. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You probably got like 5.
What? No. I only purchased one. Because I have 7 of these different units. I mean, I have tons of these units around, and I tried using my cooler one today, and it didn't work at all. It makes a nice little thing of ice, but I'm going to try one because if I actually find one that works in my mind, then I'll just buy tons of them, whether it's full price or not.
Which makes sense. I bought 2 so my husband and I could both have one.
That's good. There you go. And then you have like 2 charging. They should have sold additional charging units. That was so the 2 things they could have done is add additional charging units so I could have one at one place and one at the other without taking it out of my car. That was not an option. And then the other one is to have a battery. So we need to do a Kickstarter special on all the great things we have on Kickstarter and how TechTime would soup them up.
You know, all you have to do
make
is
them
keep
better.
talking, and people will pick up on those ideas.
There you go.
I did actually reach out to the creator and suggest that he add as an add-on once this is released, additional chargers.
Oh, you did? Okay. Oh, that was great. Okay, because that was the one thing I would have bought in like 2 or 3 different additional chargers, so I could have one in my car, one at home, and one in my office, and
one in your bathroom.
Yeah, I don't normally drink coffee in the bathroom. That's when I'm reading the technical stuff.
All right.
Okay, Gwen. All right, so we love having you on the show. Now, next time we're gonna have you on the show is gonna be a special show. So we're doing something new coming on up here for TechTime Radio. We're gonna be expanding it from a 60-minute show to about 90 minutes, at least for Halloween. Because Halloween's our scary edition show that we have. We're going to be off the air for a couple weeks, so there'll be some rebroadcasts. So you can listen to us again on all this great information that will probably be now in the mainstream media when you get it. But we're going to have you back, and you're going to come to us with a unique Halloween gadget for that show, right, Gwen?
Oh, that is the plan.
Okay.
I have ideas.
All right. That sounds perfect. Thank you so much. All right, Gwen, thanks for being a part of the show. It's always a pleasure to have her with her new gadgets and information that she has. Well, that
Bye,
ends our
Gwen.
segment,
Bye.
Gadgets and Gear with Gwen Way. Up now, we have Mike's mesmerizing moment.
Welcome to Mike's mesmerizing moment. What does Mike have to say today?
All right, question for you, Mike. Would you change your career to a cybersecurity specialist?
Would I change my career?
Yep.
No.
What?
I wouldn't change my career. I'd be more than happy to consult,
Okay.
but I wouldn't want to jump into a new whole career field.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, well, I have
They're like 5 years of being on Tech Time. You would do really well in a cybersecurity job.
Well, I like my job. I like the
Okay.
job that I have now, but
Okay.
I also consult, so that would be a good gig because then I could bring all that knowledge to somebody and they could use it when I wouldn't have to, go and sit at a desk and figure out how they run their daily business,
Okay.
right?
Okay. So you could come in and consult and say, here's
Yeah.
what I would do. And
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important for especially tech companies to diversify their workforce not in intellectual fields,
Okay.
right? So as you know, my background is forensic psychology. I sit around learning about human behavior as a hobby.
Yeah.
And that
well, I'm doing
I
tech
think-
reading. You're doing human behavior reading.
I'm doing, I read books on human behavior. I study it. I watch history. I watch all kinds of different types of things relating to human beings. So I believe that these tech companies or companies that are looking for technical people need to have balancing forces because especially when it comes to things like we're talking about all the time, almost 100% of the time, it's a human element that creates the gap that they're missing.
All right. There you go. The new M&N company.
M&N,
M&N. Mike and Nathan. Security experts.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, there you go. All right. Thank you, Mike, for that mesmerizing moment. Up next, we have This Week in Technology. So now would be a great time to enjoy a little whiskey on the side. I don't know if I will be enjoying it or not, but I will definitely take a sip here as we go to commercial break. See you after this. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so you know what? We need people to start liking our social media pages.
If you like our show, if you really like us, we could use your support on patreon.com.
Or is it Patreon? I think it's Patreon.
Okay, Patreon. If you really like us, you can.
And you say I'm the English guy?
Patreon.com.
I butcher the English language?
You butcher the English.
Okay, so it's
all the time.
It's Patreon.com.
Patreon.com. If you really like our show, you can subscribe to patreon.com and help us out.
And you can visit us on that Facebook platform. You know, the one that Zuckerberg owns?
The one that we always bag on?
Yeah, you can. We're on Facebook too.
Yeah, like us on Facebook.
You know what our Facebook page is?
TechTime Radio.
At TechTime Radio.
Yeah.
You know what? There's a trend here.
It seems to be that there's a trend, and that's TechTime Radio.
Or you can even Instagram with us.
And that's at TechTime Radio.
That's at TechTime Radio. Or you can find us on TikTok.
And it's TechTime Radio.
It's at TechTime Radio.
Like and subscribe to our social
media.
media.
Like us today. We need you to like us.
Like us and subscribe. That's it.
That's it. That's that simple.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right, we're going to the Wayback Machine here. We're going to October 6th, 1942. You know, the photocopying was patented. Chester Carlson was issued a patent in the process called electrophotography. Or photography, however you want to announce it.
You want to say bed and breakfast?
Well, there you go. Now commonly known as photocopying, it was not until 1946 the company was interested in pursuing photocopying commercially. The Haloid Company finally licensed Carlson's patent and created the word xeroxgraphy to make the process different from traditional photograph. Eventually, photocopying became such a large part of the company's revenue that Haloid changed its name to Xerox. That was This Week in Technology. If you ever wanted to watch some Tech Time history, with over 200 weekly broadcasts spanning 4+ years of video, podcasts, and blog information, you can visit us at techtimeradio.com to watch our older shows. We're going to take a commercial break now. When we return, we have our Mark Mumble Whiskey Review. See you after the break.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
The segment we've been waiting all week for. Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
All right.
Today, October 8th.
Yes.
I think you're not going to like the day as much as you don't like the whiskey.
Uh-oh, what is the day?
Today is National Salmon Day.
Okay.
Do you not like salmon?
That's all right.
It does things to his tummy.
It's too much salmon. And
Didn't you hear him go off on how salmon messes him up?
if I have too much salmon.
I thought that was shellfish.
No,
shellfish.
no, it was salmon.
No. I said salmon is a little rich on the type video. Regular crab.
We
is
even
just
brought
fine.
we even brought up shellfish.
Yeah, no. Crab's great. Everything else is great. Okay, all right.
Well, did you know salmon is the second most popular seafood consumed by Americans?
No, I do like smoked salmon. So I'll just say I like smoked salmon.
So you're a
like,
fraud.
What's that? What do you say?
So you're a fraud.
No. I like smoked salmon. I don't mind salmon.
You don't have to defend yourself.
Okay.
I don't.
Too much salmon is.
He's being shellfish right now.
I don't eat cooked salmon. I only do raw salmon.
Oh, really?
Sashimi.
Yeah, but that's because Mark is prissy.
Yeah, a little bit.
He lives on it.
All right, Odie,
He's much
let's
higher
talk
than
about
us.
the holidays.
Oh,
so
right.
this holiday is observed as a reminder of the health benefits that wild and packaged salmon provide. It is recommended to eat fatty fish, such as salmon, twice a week due to the benefits of omega-3 fatty acids for your heart, among other things. Now, speaking of hearts, we are drinking today Maker's Mark Wood Finishing Series, the Heart Release.
The heart release.
Now, this wood finishing series is a collection of bourbons that undergo a wood stave finishing technique that is meant to enhance distinctive characteristics already present in the iconic bourbon. The previous set of 5 released wood finishing series was considered Chapter 1. The Heart Release kicks off Chapter 2. This release is meant to showcase a unique taste inspired by the distilling team. So they're the ones that chose the flavor profile. The bourbon is finished with 2 different types of virgin French oak staves, 10 staves each, one set inserted in the barrel for 5 weeks and the other for 9 weeks. Now, this bottle has been confusing for me. When I first opened it, I felt it was over oaked. I couldn't even drink it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Now, every time I sat down with it since, because it's been about almost a month now, it evolves into something else. Sometimes, some nights it's sweet, some nights it's spicy, and other nights I just get that oak intensity. And some nights it's perfectly balanced and delicious. All in all, it's been a fun whiskey, especially for the price.
Okay.
That's from all the sacrifices they had to do
for the hearts.
Did you say that you leave it out? Like to air out at all or no?
Yeah.
Yeah? And
Yeah.
it's still different every time?
It is.
Okay.
It's
That's odd. That's not usual for a whiskey.
No, usually, I mean, there's a development as you open a bottle sometimes, but this one has been all over the map.
Okay.
And
smells
so
good,
I never
though.
know.
That's interesting.
So I do a small pour when I first do it, and I see how it feels that night, depending what I had for dinner or what time of day it is.
You had salmon with it?
Maybe I had salmon with it. And then if I like
where
it,
was our music for our salmon? I'm just now, as you're talking, I'm trying to figure out did you have any like salmon
No, we
music?
didn't do a
today?
salmon
I
clue
thought about
today.
doing like a wish of water,
Okay.
but
we
Didn't even
figured
have to go to the bathroom.
we figured we didn't have the time. We were going to talk about your tummy, so we figured we didn't have time for more
I
music.
could think of a good sound bite for that one.
Gurgle. Okay, all right. That's like if you eat too many Applebee's.
That happened last week.
There you go. Okay. All right. Well, Mike, whiskey and technology, such a great pairing. Just like streaming services and changes of terms and services. Have you logged into any of your streaming
serious?
services lately? If you log into Disney, Netflix, all of them had an update. I think now it's just becoming the beginning of the month. We're going to send a new update that you have to go through. Who's going to read 17 scroll pages?
Can I just say,
Yes.
I really hate streaming. I loved it when it first came out. I hate it now. I just want to chuck like my stuff against.
So
the
I have an
wall.
old TiVo unit that
Why?
we can record stuff on
It's
TV.
so frustrating.
And you know what? It's the best thing.
What's
The old
frustrating?
TiVo, I can fast forward through commercials. The whole idea of streaming was you didn't have commercials.
Exactly.
And now I get commercials. And I was watching the Amazon Prime Rings of Power season 2.
Yeah, that's
and in the
that's-
middle of a fight scene, all of a sudden, clearly they didn't have like some trigger. This is now where you need to put the commercial. They drop a commercial in the middle of no
they
place.
do it all the
No,
time. There's
I
no.
pay for the ad-free version of Disney Plus,
Yeah.
and now every time I start a new show or movie,
You get at the very beginning.
there's an ad in the very beginning.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
And if you
why
go to the
even
end,
bother?
Yeah. And if you go to the end, they're putting an ad at the end
Yeah.
now too.
It pisses me off.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay.
That's
All right.
my Nathan Nugget.
Okay,
All right.
well,
I hear
that's-
you.
That's psych warfare for you.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm really excited about this next episode or this next segment. Here we go. Let's now move into our technology fail.
We are out of time. Congratulations. You're a failure.
Oh. I failed, did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
All right. Well, this week's failure comes to us from a company that their slogan is your security experts. It's ADT. Now, you know, ADT, the home security commercials. You've seen anything like that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, guess what? ADT discloses the second breach in 2 months. It's been hacked twice in 2 months. It was hacked via stolen credentials. So it wasn't that somebody hacked in there, but they did a social engineering. Somebody decided to do it. The home and business security company ADT disclosed suffered a breach after threat actors gained access to its system using stolen credentials and employee account data. ADT is a public American company that specializes in security and smart home solutions for residential and small business customers. The firm employs over 14,000 people and has an annual revenue of $4.98 billion. On Monday evening, the Form 8K was filed with the SEC. The company said the credentials were stolen from a third-party business partner that allowed threat actors to breach ADT systems. This is the second ADT breach in 2 months, with the company warning in August that they suffered a data breach after a threat actor leaked 30,000 plus customer records, including customer emails, complete addresses, users' IDs, products purchased on a local hacking form. In response to the attack, ADT terminated the unauthorized access and began investigating the incident with third-party cybersecurity experts. As part of its investigation, it determined the encrypted data from employees was stolen in the attack. Now, the company promptly took steps to shut down the unauthorized access, notifying third-party system that it had been compromised, launching the investigation of the company itself. Now, ADT has hired a third-party cybersecurity expert to assist with the company's response the previous month and a half. Now, this company has been working back in August closely with federal law enforcement. Now, if this company was good, it would have fixed its issues 2 months ago. But this expert company is known as FireEye, the security company that I rail on the show all the time about for their lack of having any security in anything that they do. Now, the company believes that the unauthorized actor exfiltrated certain encrypted internal ADT data associated with employee user accounts during the intrusion. Now, ADT decided to act swiftly on the second one by shutting down all the IT systems, which then didn't allow anybody to have any of the tracking or any of the data security for their home security system. So while this was going on, if someone decided to break into your house or you had any problems with that, nothing was being monitored because they just moved it to open connect without having anything there.
Kind of like passwords, writing down passwords is the safest thing. Now, for home security, it's a Doberman and a Glock.
There you go. There you go. Well, best of luck, ADT. I'm sure FireEye will come to your rescue. All right, we're going to head out to our last commercial break. When we return, we have our Nathan Nugget of the week and our pick of our day. So sit back, raise a glass. You're listening to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
How to See a Man About a Dog. It combines darkly comic short stories, powerful poems, and pulp fiction prose to create a heartbreaking and hilarious journey readers will not soon forget. Read How to See a Man About a Dog, collected writings, for free with Kindle Unlimited. Ebook available on Kindle, print copies available on Amazon the Bookpository, and more.
this is your Nugget of the Week.
All right, so we're going to the Nathan Nugget. So, Mark, you're just looking online for the company FireEye that they've had to change their name. Do you know what their new name is now?
I do. Trellix.
Yeah, so they actually have gone through 2 name changes since the FireEye company, but they still are known as FireEye because most of their government contracts, because your United States government decides to hire them,
is it FireEye
are still going to
doing
FireEye.
business as?
That's right. Okay, well, our Nathan Nugget is here. I guess my ranting can continue.
Are you going to rant today?
Yeah, well, guess what we have today? It's a special day today. Well, not really. This happens like every 2 months also, kind of like security breaches at ADT. But we have Amazon Prime Big Deal Days. Now, this is the autumn companion to July's Prime Day, big day that they have. So they have one in July. Now they're deciding to have one in October. They'll have, of course, Black Friday specials, and they'll have leading up to the week for that. So it's just like every month for a sale.
I've always found it odd that you find that so bothersome.
Well, it's supposed to start out as a special one day.
Yeah.
Prime Day. This is 2 days, this event.
We're talking to the king of cheap here.
It's Prime Day,
Yes.
meaning singular, meaning one time.
And we have 2
Black
days.
Friday. It's not Black Fridays.
That's correct.
It's not Cyber Mondays.
It's Cyber Monday.
You know what? You've been hanging around Nathan too long.
I totally
So
agree.
I am surprised that you are against the whole deal thing.
Well, no, I'm not, because here we got the top deals that I went through. So
Right.
I just
Nathan loves deals.
They should just
see,
I do like deals.
That's why I have this cognitive dissonance.
Just
here,
call
because Nathan loves all these cool deals, but then he rails against companies.
I bought
that
a
wanna
bunch of
do
stuff
this.
today too. I know.
I know. It's just
I'm also
how
going
do
to
you-
buy some.
you bought some. See, Odie and I are the biggest haters. And
I
yet
am
we're
so
utilizing the
irritated right
system.
now. I'm going to buy stuff from you.
And Odie, you're still watching the streaming shows, right?
Yeah.
Holy cow!
All right. Well, guess what? The Prime Day
I have one
deals
word: meds.
ends on Wednesday, October 9th. So it started right now, and it ends
Tomorrow.
You only got 2 days for this Prime Day deal. Now, we're going to talk about the best deal I can find. The Apple iPad 10th generation, 64 gig unit, top pick. Amazon deal price right now, $300. That's for both the silver and yellow. Normal price tag on that is anywhere between $340 to $400 itself. Now, Target is trying to compete, so Target jumps in on these Prime Day deals.
Target.
They have a Target. Now they're called the Bullseye or the Bullseye app. Or
I hate that.
Yeah, but they're trying to
with your
just be Target.
brand.
Just be Target. You don't have to try to rebrand yourself as
Thank you.
Bullseye. Okay, but $300 gets you an iPad 10th generation 64 gig. That is one of our top picks. Continuing on in the Apple products itself, we go on an iPad Pro 11-inch M4. So this is not just the iPad, but this is the Pro. So you can add the keyboard to it. It's kind of the hybrid computer. It's more like a tablet, but the iPads are tablets. So it's kind of the hybrid deal. That's available right now. Amazon deal price at $850. Street price. Besides Prime deal price.
Street price.
Okay. $1,000.
$1,000.
All right. Now continuing on, we're going to talk about the Amazon Kindle Paperwhite, the kids e-reader. So if you can buy a kids e-reader, sometimes you ever go to a place and you buy like a kids meal, it's like half the price, but you still get almost the same amount as you do a regular meal. This is kind of the same thing with the Amazon Kindle Paperwhite kid e-reader. It's just as good as the adult version, but they list it as a kid e-reader. Now, street price $170, but you can get it for $115. So you want to read books on their e-reader, check them out from the library. You can get your free internet.
That's the whole
and your free thing
that's the
from.
whole base thing, right?
Yep,
It's not the I can play video games on this piece. This is just reading, right?
This is just for reading. This is the Kindle Paperwhite. So it's the one that has that looks like print and it's got the backlit on and everything that's available. Now, speaking of Amazon, we have Amazon Echo Spot, the 2024 version of Echo Spot. If you want to have your music play throughout your house, get an Echo device in each one of your rooms and you can play all house audio, and your Sonos setup that you spent millions of dollars for is obsolete with Amazon's freebie prices of $45. The new 2024 model is $45 right now. Street price $75. Expected to probably be a little bit cheaper on Black Friday if you can wait for that deal itself.
$45, and Amazon will listen to you have conversations.
That's
in your house.
That's right. Amazon Echo Dot Kid version. Again, we're trying to go with kind of the cheaper prices. This is the kid version. Instead of the regular $50 price, you can get an Amazon Echo Dot Kids version.
That's like an owl.
Yeah, it's like a cute thing, but instead of paying that larger price of $45, I can get it for $28. The kid
Nice.
version is $28. So the secret here is Nathan is buying a bunch of stuff for
bunch of
on the
kid stuff.
That's right, because it's still the same technology most of the time. Are you interested in picking up a PlayStation device?
Yeah.
They have a
PlayStation or a PlayStation device.
A PlayStation unit itself.
Okay.
The Sony PlayStation 5 Slim is what I recommend because that allows you to still play CDs of older games. So it's not the non-CD version. But that price right now is $450 on Amazon. Normally right now on the street price, it's $500. So that's a good deal. Now, do you like a gaming mouse? Do you like having a mouse with a bunch of functions so when you're playing games, you can switch weapons?
I have a really high quality gaming mouse. You know what functions I use on it?
What?
None.
Well, the Razer, if you want to get some new software, the Razer is a high-end gaming mouse. The BaseLink V3 gaming mouse, normally $50, is now on sale for $40. Now, Walmart is competing with their Walmart deal price of $40 also. Again, this is normally about $50 if you can find it. Now, this has all the comfortable grips for your hand, customizable underglow lighting, optical switches to avoid the double-click issues, and everything you need to have taken care of for your games. Now, I kind of like physical copies of stuff. You can now get the Super Mario Brothers Wonder for Nintendo Switch, the physical copy gift pack. It's available on Woot. Now, Woot is also a part of Amazon. It used to be like Woot Deals, so they own it, but they have their own site at Woot. You can get that for $45, and you can get free shipping for Prime members. Normally, that price is $60. What's nice about this is you get the physical copy, so when Nintendo Switch store decides to shut down, you can still play the game.
Oh, I thought they did that already.
Was that?
Didn't
Well, they
Nintendo
took one.
Switch
No, they
store?
took one down for the Wii U.
Oh, that's right.
Gwen has that mouse. She loves it.
She loves it.
She loves
She just typed it and said
Yeah.
she loves it. That's good. That's a good thing. Now,
What about an actual Nintendo Switch?
no
Those
good
on
prices
sale?
on that. No good prices on that. Right
What?
now. No, that's not.
It usually doesn't drop.
Yeah, I'm doing
I
the
know.
top deals. I'm doing some that you don't
I have
get.
one as well. The Amazon Fire Stick.
Yep.
The lower
4K?
two models. Yeah, the 4K and the
8K.
HD
Okay.
are half off right now.
Yep.
So 4K usually goes for $49. It's now $25 versus 40 and 20 with the other.
And what do you do with that?
Plug it back to your
Plug it in.
HDMI
Yeah.
port.
In
and
case
can
you don't
use
have a
it.
smart TV.
Oh.
And if you have Nathan hack at it, you can get some.
You got
some
Nathan
real
hacks.
stuff. No,
Well-
never mind. Okay. Now let's say you wanted to have a portable power station. Okay, a power station, a portable power station device. The Jackery Explorer 300. Look at that sucker. The
Are you addicted to
Jackery-
love?
What's that? Yeah, the Jackery Explorer 300 portable power station. Normally $260, $300 on sale right now, $169.
Holy crap.
There you go.
Are you going to go out and get power
yeah,
station?
I'm about to go out right now and just go crazy on my
Here you go.
shopping.
Here you go. Here's
All
here's
right,
the
thank
power
you.
station. I got
Wow,
it.
look at
There you
that. We're passing the mantle.
We can pass it.
Well,
There
do you want to hear the pick of the day?
Let's do that.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings. Let's see what bubbles to the top.
All right, what do we got?
Finishing series, the Heart Release 2024. So this is the first release of their second chapter of the wood finishing series. It is straight bourbon, finished with virgin oak staves, 111.7 proof, $57.
Okay.
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
What did you like
Did you
about it,
catch
Mike?
that reference?
Yeah, that's from Smash TV,
What?
Is it?
a video
No.
game.
You sure?
I
It
will
might
show
be
you.
Oh.
RoboCop.
No, I'll show you right at the end of this. Okay.
RoboCop.
What did you like about it, Mike?
I like the flavor profile. It's smooth and it has a lot of fruity tones to it. Which
You
I
actually
really
noted
enjoyed.
that?
Yeah.
Wow. I've never heard
And-
Mike say that about a whiskey.
And that's because
And-
I'm developing
Look at
a
that.
taste for it because of Mark's influence.
Mark, are you happy about that?
Sure.
You're having an influence on him?
And it also has the
Just
right
like
amount
those-
of woody tones to it. I
Yeah.
like the I
It's a
like
weeder,
that, I
so-
like that oak flavoring.
In a wheat
Wow.
bourbon, that's where you get the sweetness and the fruits from. And then the staves that they put in give you that oak.
I'm gonna give
All
it a-
right, that's it. We don't need to hear anybody else.
No. I'm giving this bad boy a thumbs down. I still have some left here. I mean, Mike, you like it so much, you may have to finish off my glass here.
You only took
I
one
like
taste.
whiskey. I
You took
like
2 tastes.
Was that? I did not like it at all.
I think the oak hits you a little stringent. Kind of like wine does for you.
Yep.
You don't like wine?
Brandy.
Boo. No, your opinion doesn't mean anything today. Anyway,
I mean, I like some wines, but I do like.
No,
I like.
I mean,
if I have my choice,
a lot of the community is divided on this one.
He likes Bartles and James. Do they still make that? Bartles and James?
Something?
Wine coolers.
All right.
Anyway.
Zima. You're a Zima guy.
Zima guy.
Thank you,
Remember this?
Mark.
All right. Well, I just want to tell everybody, thank you so much for being a part of our show. We're honored to have you guys as our guests. Next week on the show, join us where Bites collide, Circus sings, and Geeks reign supreme. I'm your host, Nathan Mumm, signing off with a binary wink. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, mum's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.